phones constitutes consent and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Good evening and welcome everyone to another exciting Friday night edition of the Grand Jury. It's game show style, folks. Lights, camera, and reasonable person standards. I'm your co-host and your bailiff, bringing the energy as always, and now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's meet our distinguished guests for tonight's episode, the 5 volunteers who have bravely stepped up to serve as our mock grand jury. And tonight's first guest is Silverbug. Silverbug, welcome to the show. Tell us about yourself.
Hey, Big Ron. Yeah, man. So I'm on X. I enjoy discussing and debating 2A rights and constitutional money. That's actually how I came across Joe. And we've been in a lot of spaces and we've had a lot of discussions. So I'm happy to be here.
Outstanding. Yeah, you guys need to take a look at that. That's some good stuff. And next we're going to have Cali Hillbilly. Cali Hillbilly, welcome to the show.
Hey, Ron, thanks. Appreciate your time. Joe, thanks for the invite. Cali Hillbilly, 21-year Air Force vet, Air Force vet for Rebel. When she gets on there, she's going to give me some shit. Anyway, all about Second Amendment. I'm excited to be on the show. I've been following the show for a while, and thanks for the invite to be on the jury.
Sounds great. I hope you enjoy it. And third, as he said, is going to be Right Side Rebel.
At this moment, if he knew, he fucked up.
Shotgun race from the woods to the plate. Ain't never went hungry, ain't never too late to come around here, son, running your mouth. You can fuck around and find out. You can fuck around and find out. You may make it through the snakes, snares, and alligators, but once you...
Welcome to the show, Right Side Rebel.
Hey guys, I'm Right Side Rebel. I go by Right Side Rebel on all my platforms. I'm a 12B combat engineer veteran. I'm 26 and I'm from the West Coast, the best coast. And Army is way better than the Chair Force, just saying.
Well, we appreciate all that. I'm sure most of us are going to disagree with that. Fly Navy. And we're going to bring Tinkerton up. Tinkerton, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ron. Again, Tinkerton on X, X Lifeguard, Computer Geek. Thank you again for having me in this opportunity.
No worries. We enjoyed having y'all. And then last but not least, everyone, I'm going to bring Bruce Wayne to the stage. I can't do my job every night as a producer without Bruce Wayne in the background. He takes care of all the technical stuff that happens. Bruce, welcome to the show, buddy. All right. All right, everybody, let's give them a round of applause in the chat, folks. These are real people from the X community ready to watch real-world body cam and dash cam footage, hear the context, and vote reasonable or unreasonable. We'll go case by case, play the video, discuss the moments, then pull the jury one by one, starting with guest one all the way down the line. Joe will guide us through the evidence, break down the law, keep the show moving, and like any good courtroom drama, we're going to start this with the classic intro. All rise. The honorable mock grand jury is in session. The bailiff, myself, will now swear our panel of 5 everyday heroes in from X. Do you solemnly swear to judge these police use of force videos based solely on the facts, the footage, and what a reasonable officer would do under any circumstance without bias, without hindsight, and with the spirit of Graham versus Connor in mind? Say I do.
I do.
Sweet. Well, with that being said, like I say every night, the cigar's lit, the bourbon is cold, everybody is stacked and ready to go. With that being said, Joe, the show is yours. Let's take it away.
Well, happy Friday night, Big Ron, and to our 4 jurors. We are short a juror right now. By the way, anybody that's interested, get our attention, and you will get a live link. We need a 5th juror here, but we've got a minute or 2 before it gets started. Well, so if anyone's interested, get our attention, myself, Bruce Wayne, or Big Ron, or into the comments. Okay, yes, it is Friday night, and let's go ahead and get our expert witness, as any good grand jury would have. We have our own expert witness, Jason, a retired 30-year veteran of Minnesota law enforcement and the developer of the 3D Response School Safety System. Jason, welcome to another Friday night. How are you doing, sir?
Good to be here again. I am doing great. Ready to try to argue with people, and I'm not sure what to say at this point anymore, so I'm going to shut up.
Just say welcome and happy to be here, and I'll be your expert witness for tonight. Folks, let's get into some of the rules of the grand jury. Let's get started. For many of our cases tonight, we will consider the use of deadly force. You as a jurist, the deadly force is only justified when a reasonable person would believe, given the same information available to the actor at the time, that deadly force was necessary in self-defense or in defense of another person. And you heard Graham versus O'Connor invoked earlier. This is very important when considering the use of deadly force, and particularly by police officers. Graham versus O'Connor, Supreme Court decision, it's what we would call case law, 1989, says that a police officer's use of deadly force should be viewed by you, the jurist, with deference given for a swiftly evolving situation and without the benefit of hindsight. So what that means is that you have to give them some benefit of the doubt for a fast evolving, quickly moving situation. We're gonna talk about we've got, I tell you what, you see that, Big Ron? We got Regina just popped in. Let's get her. Regina is always good for it. Welcome to this, Regina. This is your second time, right?
My second time.
Your second time. I'll tell you
Yes,
what,
sir.
Wiley, y'all slipping on me left and right, but I sure appreciate you coming in, filling
No
in.
problem.
Sure. We're just in the middle of the instructions. Let me continue on with that. So back to the Graham versus O'Connor scenario. What the Supreme Court has said that we should, as jurists, view these with some benefit of the doubt given to them for, like, things are moving fast, so maybe you saw something that you misinterpreted, that kind of a scenario. It also says that without the benefit of hindsight, it means that the officer or the person, let's take the officer out of it, the person that is using force in defense of themselves should be given the benefit and judged just on what was happening right then. We'll give the toy gun scenario. That someone has a toy gun, a police officer, it's displayed towards a police officer uses deadly force because he believes that it's a real gun and finds out after the fact that it's a toy gun. You can't hold the fact that it's a toy gun and that it never really presented a danger to him. You should say, well, it's reasonable. Where your judgment should be, is it reasonable that a person would believe that it was a gun? That's all you need, is the belief is enough. And that's really what Graham versus O'Connor says in a much fancier way. Now, we're a grand jury tonight, and unlike a trial jury, some of you may have sat on a jury trial before. I doubt many people have sat on a grand jury. There's not many of them. One grand jury will handle many cases, and they work over long periods of time, sometimes 3, sometimes 6 months, depending on what some jurisdictions. So a grand jury is different, though. A trial jury is made up of 12 jurors in most states for criminal trials, and that jury is required to come to be convinced by the state, burden of proof on the state, be convinced by the state that one is guilty or is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And the reasonable doubt is pretty stiff, right? That means when you go home at night, whether you like doing it or not, you'll sleep well because it was the right decision. There was no other outcome in your mind. For a grand jury, it's not like that. You only need to be convinced that more likely than not that an act was justified or not. It's really that simple. Just more likely than not. It's probable cause is the standard that a grand jury is there to determine. You are here to determine if you believe, and tonight we're not going to do cases of law. We're going to do quite simple. Is it reasonable or not? In fact, the jury tonight really only has 2 findings. Was the force reasonable or unreasonable? That's it. And you're to judge that by the reasonable person standard, which is not you, it's not me, it's not Jason. It's not the smartest guy in the room, it's not the dumbest guy in the room. It's somewhere in between. It's just kind of the average Joe. What would the average person think with the information available to the officers in this case tonight, available at the time? Would they believe that force was necessary at the time? And like I said, your findings tonight are reasonable or unreasonable. And the standard of proof is more likely than not. Also, unlike a trial jury, we vote a little bit different. A trial jury has to be a unanimous vote. Everyone must agree. In tonight's cases in grand juries across the land, it's the majority. So 3 out of 5 of the votes wins today. A majority decision is to decide. Now we do this. We do it game show style because we're only going to give you 10 minutes to make that decision. We have 5 cases tonight. You're going to have 10 minutes each after seeing the case. You'll have an opportunity to ask some questions, general questions. If there are, if somebody's got their mic open, I'd appreciate it if you'd go on mute for me. If we're going to, I've just lost my train of thought. I tell you what, do we have any questions?
No, we're good to go, Joe.
All right, Big Ron, let's put up the first case.
I'm going to have Kentucky 132 Zulu Victor Bravo. We're turning on Gilligan from 22nd right now. Hands, 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 hands! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands. Turn off the vehicle now. Let me see your hands. 2 Adam.
The white Mercedes.
Negative, this is going to be a Honda CRV.
You said 132 Zulu Victor Bravo?
192 Zulu Victor Bravo. Stay in the car. Don't move. Don't move.
Location.
I'm in 2100 block of Gilligan.
Copy 2100 block of Gilligan.
He pulled off on me. I got him stopped. Stay in the car. Do not get out of the car. Stop. 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 Fuck. 122 Adam. Shots fired. Shots fired.
All units start towards 2100 block Gilligan Street. One feet within the block.
Right here. I'm right here.
Where's he at?
He's in the front seat. He's hit. He's hit. He ran over me with the car.
Okay, folks, that is your first case. So you saw the officer conducted a traffic stop. The driver failed to yield. It went to a residence. Maybe you could assume it was the person's home or not. We're not sure. The officer stops, gets out at gunpoint, orders the person to get out, and doesn't comply. At some point, though, a passenger, sounded like a female, got out of the vehicle, and at that point, the officer walked up to the back of the vehicle. You see the reverse lights were on it. Walked up back of the vehicle and gave commands, and the vehicle actually pushed and run him over. And he shot into the passenger compartment of the vehicle, killing the driver. Any parts of this video we'd like to see again, and I recommend that, particularly for most of these cases tonight. At least go back and look at the money shot. But any part of this video we'd like to see again?
Hey Joe, I got
If
for
I
you.
could,
Can you?
so I'm watching it on the big screen, and I'm on my device tonight. So I was confused a little bit. I didn't even know there were 2 people in the car, and I want to go back to where the suspect backed up the car and ran him over. If we could do that.
Okay, we're going to go with no brake lights. Pay attention to the brake lights.
I'm in 2100 block of Gilligan.
Copy, 2100 block of Gilligan.
He pulled off on me. I got him stopped. Stay in the car! Do not get out of the car! Stop! Stop!
Okay, do you hear her?
I do. I think the only confusion I have right now is the officer said, let me see your hands. Did the officer ever direct them to open the door and get out of the car? Because I was a little conflicted.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I want you to, I'm going to back it up just a tad, but I want you to listen to what the woman's saying. And she'll
Yeah, I
answer
heard
your
what she
questions.
said. Yeah, play it again.
Stop! 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 Stop!
Okay,
She's replying to the officer. He told me to get out of the car. She's talking to about the driver of the vehicle. The driver of the vehicle told her to get out, and she's getting out on the passenger side.
Oh, okay. I got it now. Okay, I got it.
So it's like you riding with your man, and the police get you, and when y'all get home, he says, "Hey, you get out," and then he keeps running. You've done that, right? It's normal.
Totally normal.
So exactly.
I've seen all I need to see.
All right, any other questions? Did Callie, did you say?
No, you backed it up to where I wanted to see as well, but that jabroni clearly ran over the cop. But anyway,
easy. We're not deliberating yet. It sounds like deliberation. What does that mean, Big Ron? Let's put up a clock. Here we go then. So you know what? I want to go to somebody I hadn't heard from before. I want to go to Right Side Rebel. What's your initial, folks? I'm going to go through here and I'm going to ask you what's your initial impression on this. Kind of, what's your initial thought? I want to get to everyone first, and then we'll come back and do another round and dig in a little bit deeper. So what's your initial thought on this, Rebel?
So I think the officer's commands were kind of confusing. He was kind of back and forth, like hands on the wheel. Then he's saying, open your car door, and then don't get out of the car. So like in a stressful situation, a person is going to naturally be stressful, They're going to be nervous. It does seem like he was being kind of shady about something. Definitely, like you hear the woman screaming. And so it's like, I wish I had a different point of view on this one. Because, I mean, he was fine. He was up and walking, right? So there was no reason to shoot the driver. Maybe like you could shoot a tire, to stop him. But I feel like there wasn't a reason to shoot the driver, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so you'd be cool with maybe disabling the vehicle, but not using deadly force because it's just a car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the officer seemed like he was up and walking, He was fine enough to shoot after.
But of course, that wouldn't be hindsight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making that assessment.
Yeah.
That after the fact, it didn't hurt me, so I wasn't in real danger in the first place.
I mean, a car is real danger, but
I'm going to let you think on that for a minute because I think we've got some other jurors that may have a difference of opinion. Tinkerton, I'm going to you next, sir. What's your initial opinion?
The first thing that caught me was, again, in a sense, when he comes out of the car and he's talking on the radio, again, kind of what he is reporting back, what, again, is he pursuing the driver for, the level that he comes out, a single officer, again, trying to control the situation, and again, having a person follow the orders. I do think there's a point that they took the orders too literally. Again, saying jump, how high immediately. Again, at that point, again, it's a confusing point of view. I could just want to agree with another point of view if there were multiple officers there, but in the manner right now that the officer was met with something that could have harmed him very, very severely.
You know what? I'm going to come back to you because it's going to take me a minute to digest because I'm not sure exactly where you're at on this. I heard what you said, but let me think about that. Let's go to Callie. Callie, what's your initial impression, sir?
Hey, thanks, Joe. My initial impression is the individual pulled into a parking spot, knew that the police were behind them. It was obvious. And then the The officer got out, was giving commands. The individual opened the door, heard the officer, gave commands, and what he understood the officer, because when the officer said get back in the car, he got back in the car. So he knew what was going on, and he was well aware of the situation. So I think the individual that was operating a motor vehicle knew exactly what was going on and was well aware of the situation, and he took matters in his own hands.
So you're leaning towards the officer?
No, I'm leaning towards no bill.
Well, that's what, on the side of the officer.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, let's go to Silverbug. What's your initial impression, sir?
Sorry, I was muted. My gut is basically the officer made a couple mistakes, but at the end of the day, he was justified in what he did. If you know, we always put ourselves in like the other person's shoe. If I'm the officer, he should have never commanded that guy to get back in the vehicle. He should have told him, get out, get on your stomach, hands over your head, get on your belly, and we're done. There's no backing over. Like, that would have been it. But he told the guy, get back in the car. Then he said, stop, stop, stop. And then he got behind the vehicle as it was reversing. Yeah, you're gonna have to shoot at that point. So you know, mistakes were made on all sides, but I think the officer was okay with what he did.
So you think the officer's force was reasonable? That's the question.
Yes, I'm not faulting the officer with the use of force.
Okay, Regina, what's your first pick?
Yeah, I was confused just a tiny bit at first, but looking, the windows were dark, with the confusing commands, I was a little confused, but I do believe his actions were reasonable. So, yeah, I do. The guy, I mean, he should have followed instruction, and with the back and forth between the passenger, it sounded like the driver knew they were going to do something by telling her to get out of the car, like you said earlier, get out so I can run. So I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. Could things have been handled a little differently? Maybe, but I still think it was reasonable.
Okay. Right Side Rebel, did anyone's arguments sway you one way or the other? Or are you still kind of think that that maybe it was unreasonable? That deadly force didn't need to be used in that situation?
I agree with, I think it was Silverbug, that there were faults on both sides. I'm kind of Switzerland in this. I can't lie.
You
I'm
can't be
half and half.
Switzerland. You're
I
on
know.
the jury. You got to make a decision.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I would say it was reasonable. A car could kill you, and
Of course, I'm not asking for your decision now. At the end of the clock, we'll go and get an actual vote. So we're deliberating. We want to discuss it. So let me ask all of you this. Is it reasonable to believe that a vehicle is a deadly weapon, right? Or is it not?
Reasonable.
Let me ask this. Does anyone disagree with the statement that a vehicle is a deadly weapon in the manner it's used? It can be used in the manner of a deadly weapon. Does everyone agree with that statement?
I agree.
100%. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Okay. So we know that we talked about deadly force and when it can be used in defense of a third person, defense of yourself or defense of a third person, when the actor with the information available to them at the time, a reasonable person having that information would say, yeah, I'd see you're in danger. Is it reasonable, though, if the officer had maintained his position in the vehicle, the woman had gotten out and the vehicle had backed out, he's still giving commands, he's still being full policey, but not standing behind the vehicle, do we think we would have had a deadly force situation? So what I'm asking is, did the officer put himself in the deadly force, construct the deadly force situation by walking up and standing behind this vehicle when the backup lights come on? So that's a question.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. And that is fair. He did position himself, but then on the flip side of that, you're going to have a fleeing guy going through. It looked like a residential area. He's going to be hauling ass from the cops. That's a whole other can of worms right there,
Well,
man.
that's not directly in front of you at that time. The time to make that decision is probably not
Fair.
at the moment the shot was
Yeah.
fired. Okay,
Yeah,
so
fair.
what? Okay, so we all kind of see the point that it's reasonable that you don't create the deadly force situation so that you can use deadly force. Everyone agrees that that would be unreasonable, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree.
Okay. The officer gets there. He's on the and I'm not going to sway you either way. That's one argument. Here's the next argument. The officer gets there. He's on the radio. He's calling in, say, I've got him stopped. I've got him at gunpoint. He ran from me. That he's got a person evading a vehicle. It's a felony in most states. So he's got a felony offense within view that he's there. He's calling and asking for backup. Initially, the person gets out. He's clearly, there's two occupants in the vehicle. He's on by himself. So he goes for officer safety. You stay in the vehicle knowing that he's going to have other units come there and they'll do some sort of a felony extraction from the vehicle safely. But as this happens, the brakes come on, the passenger door opens. He doesn't know the status of the passenger other than there's just a passenger. He doesn't have that information. The passenger door opens. He goes to that side. He can't see. Could passenger have come out with a gun? He doesn't know. He's not in a position to monitor both sides. So he takes that position, and at the same time, the vehicle starts to back up. So there's the two arguments for you. I want everyone to take 35 seconds to consider, and we'll get your vote. Anybody has a quick question, I'll answer it.
I do have one quick question.
Go ahead.
So we're not only considering, everything with the officer, but their job is to make sure that they're not a danger to themselves or any other people to protect and serve, right? And you mentioned that this person had
No,
felony.
I have no idea what job description you just gave. Whose job? Police officer's job is to do what?
I'm asking. So they have to think about other people too, right? When they're trying to stop a situation. So say he would have jumped out of the way, he didn't get hit, whatever. If he wouldn't have used the deadly force, well, never mind. I'm projecting.
Well, here's the other thing too. How high speed was the first pursuit that got him to that location? Right? It wasn't really. They weren't bumping into cars, driving down the road too crazy. So I don't know that you have the argument for that. But I'm going to go to Tinkerton. I'm going to go to you first, sir. I need a vote from you. Reasonable or not?
Reasonable.
There's one for reasonable. Right side, Rebel. Reasonable or not?
Oh, I got to say not reasonable.
1-1 tied up. Cal, Hillbilly. Reasonable or not?
Reasonable.
There's 2-1. Silver Bug. Reasonable or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna say reasonable with the caveat where the command should have been exit the vehicle.
There's no caveat.
Reasonable.
Yeah,
reasonable.
No, there we go. Regina, how say you?
Reasonable.
All right, that's going to be a 4-1. We got a split decision. Reasonable force. That's how that would be determined on our little mock grand jury tonight. Jason, how say you, Jason? I'm curious how you see this.
I would have handled that completely different. I do think he went behind the car because somebody else got out of the car. So now you have, what's going on over here? So I see why he walked that way. The way it played out, it is what it is. The guy wasn't paying attention or was not complying, literally assaulted him with the car. I do question, is this because of a failure to yield? Was there a felony in this, Joe? I'm confused.
Failure to yield, which is a felony in most of the real states out there.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's called fleeing in a motor vehicle is what we call it in Texas.
Oh, it's fleeing. Okay. I'm a little concerned, like his squad positioning and stepping out. If it's truly a felony stop, you're just standing there with no cover whatsoever. I think he could have positioned his squad car better. He could have used his car for cover. And you have time. Just give him clear and distinct verbal commands. I don't like how the officer handled it. I think it could have went a lot better, but the way it did go down, it is what it is. And I do see why he went to look at the passenger getting out of the car, because that's a threat there too.
You're laying on reasonable though, right? Is that what?
The way it went down, it's reasonable tactically and procedurally. I would have had a huge issue with that.
Yeah, and what Jason's saying is that you've got this car that's run from you. You're going to do some action here. It's not like you're going to drive past him. But he parallel parks on the street in lead and not behind the vehicle. I would have pulled in, and I'm like Jason. I would have pulled in, and I would have hit him at every light that the police gave me, shining on that car, and that gives me both some cover. I mean, concealment and cover with the light there. And I've got now 2 cameras on the car. I can see both sides. I can stand at the back of my car and walk back and forth and monitor when 2 people in there waiting for someone to come back. So I think some tactical errors were made, but I think that. And I'm going to give it to Silverbug. Silverbug picked up, the only one that gave some deference. Everybody else, boy, y'all were throwing the deference out there and hindsighting the hell out of the first one. But Silverbug's the only one I heard to actually give some thought to deference for a fast evolving and difficult to assess situation to the officer. But good job. I agree. Do you agree with the jury's decision, Jason?
I do. I just don't like the way it went down. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, we don't have to like it. Nobody's here to make everybody feel better about it. Let's go to, I tell you what, let's talk about some Rangeminded podcast folks, small content creators. You know, we support them here. The Rangeminded podcast. Range puts on a weekly podcast, everything to anything firearms related. He's got some sort of interesting stance on it, whether it be some recent legislation or some legal actions that goes on in the 2A realm to Guncraft. Let's take a look at Range's promo, Big Ron.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Rangeminded podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Rangeminded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Rangeminded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things. There you can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range-minded. See you guys soon.
Yeah, folks, the Rangeminded podcast, those who watch the show, we promote him every week. And I know that all of you watching are not following him on every one of the social media platforms that he's streaming to. So if you're following already, go to another site and just give him a follow, give him a subscribe. This really makes a difference to these small content providers. And don't take down my repost. My next thing is repost ours. Help us out here with the show tonight and give us a repost. A quote repost is better on X, but tell some folks about it. Let's get some viewers in here. And with that, I'll give it back to you there, Bruce Wayne, on the repost. And to Ron, I give it to you. Case number 2.
On March 7, 2026, at around 11:15 p.m., Southeast Patrol Division officers responded to a radio call for a possible assault with a deadly weapon suspect there now at a convenience store in the 15,300 block of South Figueroa Street. The caller initially described the suspect as a male white, wearing a pink shirt and gray jeans, armed with a pocket knife and scissors and accompanied by a small dog. However, moments later, the caller clarified that the suspect was in fact a female white who was taking items from behind the counter and throwing them at patrons inside the store. Here's the 911 call and corresponding radio broadcast.
LA City 911, Sherman 938.
Yeah. Can you send the police here at 1500 on Figueroa? Cross Street with the beach at the.
And why do you need the police, sir?
Yeah, we have a white lady up in there, came in, is right behind the counter, came and took cigarette, open it, smoking, and he has a knife, he have scissors with him. They bring the dog in, the dog have no leash on him. He's in the store trying to fight. He said this store is his store, this store belongs to him.
What color clothing does he have on, sir?
He has a pink shirt on, pink shirt and a gray jean.
Gray jeans, okay. And you said he's armed. Does he have the knife in his hand or is it in his pocket?
Yeah, he has a knife and he has scissors. And, in his back, they have the dog. The dog don't have no chain.
Okay, hang on one second.
They bring the dog.
I'm sorry, is the knife in his hands or is it in his pocket or his backpack?
His hand.
Okay, it's a knife. Is it a pocket knife, a kitchen knife?
Pocket knife, and he have the scissors in his hand, in his pocket.
Okay, so he has a knife and scissors as well.
Ma'am, we need a police.
Sir, I need to ask you these questions for the police. I need to ask you these questions for the police to answer my questions. Does he have knife and scissors? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah,
yes or no? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
What type of dog is it?
Yeah, well, I don't know what kind. I can't describe it. The dog has
is it large or small?
A small dog. No, small dog. Not too small, but small dog.
Is he threatening anyone with the weapon? Did he threaten the clerk with the weapon?
Well, the way he look, he's threatening us. That's how he look.
So looking and threatening is different. Did he threaten anyone with a knife? Yes or no?
Well, he didn't threaten us with a knife, but he has a knife with him. He has a scissors. He came in.
Is he behind the counter still, sir? Is he behind the counter
still? Yeah, he's there right now. Yes, right now.
What's your name and telephone number?
My phone number is. My name is SIR.
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, stand line with me. Let me get some officers going. Don't hang up. Southeastern is possible ADW suspect. There now 15-3 South Figueroa inside the suspect's a male white wearing a pink shirt, gray jeans, holding a pocket knife, has scissors in his pocket, has a small dog off leash. Stand by for additional incident 4771 NRD 1881. Southeastern for the code 31975. Is he still behind the counter, sir?
Yes, ma'am. It's inside the store. It's right here. Customers are looking at her. Everybody. It's crazy.
Is it a man or it's a man, correct? Not a woman?
She's a lady.
It's a woman. Okay.
She's a lady. Yeah.
Go outside. Go outside.
Turn around.
Turn around.
You're gonna get tased. It's gonna hurt really bad.
I sure will.
Okay.
Listen.
No, you listen.
Turn around.
You're
or you're
not
gonna
even
get
real
tased.
cops.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Who's your authority? Who is?
Dude.
Because it's me.
Hey, can you just stay on her?
Hey, we don't want to hurt your dog.
Hey, don't grab anything. Yeah, I'm grabbing. Hey, grab.
Hey.
Don't get the
Listen.
No, you listen. You're not even real cops. Okay? Who's your authority? Who is? Because it's me.
Okay, listen.
There's a dog right there.
We're just trying to talk. We're just trying to talk. Listen, hey. Listen. Listen, hey.
Hey, don't grab anything.
Don't reach for anything.
Hey, don't grab anything.
Turn around. Or you're gonna get tased.
Okay? Who's your authority? Who is? Because it's me. Okay.
Hey, there's a dog right there.
We're just trying to talk. We're just trying to talk. Listen, hey. Listen,
Hey, don't grab anything.
Don't reach for anything.
Hey, don't grab anything. Exam 1, shot fired, shots offering its help.
There's a dog right there.
We're just trying to talk. We're just trying to talk. Listen, hey. Listen, hey, don't grab anything.
Yeah, I'm grabbing. Hey, grab.
Don't grab anything.
Hey, don't.
Turn around.
No.
You're gonna get tased. It's gonna hurt really bad.
I sure will.
Okay. Listen.
No, you listen.
Turn around.
You're not even real cop.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
Who's your authority? Who is?
Dude.
Because it's me.
Okay. Listen.
There's a dog back there.
We're just trying to talk. We're just trying to talk.
Hey.
Hey.
We don't want to hurt your dog.
What's that?
Listen. Hey, don't grab anything.
Don't reach for anything. Hey, grab.
Don't grab anything.
Fire department paramedics responded a few minutes later and treated Akers for the gunshot wounds she sustained. However, despite life-saving efforts, she was pronounced deceased. Investigators recovered a handgun and a pocket knife Akers was armed with at scene and booked them both as evidence. Investigators later determined that the handgun was a pellet gun. Cynthia Akers was a 53-year-old resident of Brighton, Colorado. In the next several months,
All right, folks, here's case number 2. Any parts of this video we'd like to see again? Now, you should have plenty of shots on that. We had plenty of body-worn camera and interior security camera of the whole situation. Any portion of the video we'd like to see again?
Joe, could you go back to the very beginning when the person behind the counter was
I can't
introduced?
hear anybody. Oh, sorry.
Hey, Joe, could you go back to the beginning of the video when the person behind the counter was actually introduced to the situation?
You mean before the police arrive?
Yes, sir, please. Thanks.
I think we're somewhere right here. Regina, can you hear me? Let's see if we can't get a message to her, get her to bounce out. I think we're having an audio issue. I don't want to ruin another show.
Yes, I can
clarified
hear
that the
you, but
suspect
you're
was
on
in
a
fact
10-second delay because I'm having to do it 2 ways. But yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
female white who was taking items from behind the counter and throwing them at patrons inside the store.
Okay, I tracked what's going on now, Joe. I was confused at the beginning. I was confused at the beginning on who this individual was. So was not somebody that worked there. Got it.
I think she was applying for a job, but she hadn't been hired yet, evidently. Okay, with no questions, Big Ron, throw up a clock. There we go, folks. Now we are deliberating. I'm going to go to Silverbug. I'm going to you first. What's your initial impression on this?
I mean, as soon as she grabbed for like all the different angles, like it wasn't really clear until the final two where you can see the handgun appearing item. And at that point, yeah, I get it. They unloaded on her because you don't know that's not a live handgun and not a pellet gun.
So you're leaning towards reasonable, it sounds like, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry. That unfortunately was to me reasonable. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Tinkerton. What do you think, sir?
I'm leaning to reasonable. Again, the person didn't really consider. Again, the cops are there giving orders. Didn't want to follow. And the moment you go grab something that's a weapon, it's just kind of not the smart thing to do.
Okay, Callie Hillbilly. What do you think, sir?
Hey, Joe. I was trying to count the number of law enforcement that showed up to the scene, but I didn't capture the number. I saw at least 5. It was very evident that they knew that the person behind the counter knew that, something was about ready to go down because they were doing something wrong. But I got to say,
did we lose Callie?
You got me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, you said I'm going to
cool.
say, and then you fell out.
I would say reasonable.
Okay, Rebel. How do you
Hi.
see it? How do you see it?
I gotta agree. Like it's reasonable. I mean, everything happened really fast, and she did say she's gonna grab her strap. I do think she was on something, but that doesn't excuse the fact that she did grab for a weapon, and they knew she had a weapon on her. And you it's either them or you in that situation, and you have to protect not only citizens but yourself as well.
I see. Regina, how's your audio? Can you give us your initial assessment?
Yeah, I'd say totally reasonable. Definitely, and everything's fixed now. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No worries. We've been having some issues with StreamYard, so I get nervous when someone says I can't hear another person. We've had to cancel 2 shows because of that in the middle of them. But either way, let's get to this one. Okay. Let me ask all of you this. Does anyone, if I were to say that this person was suffering or gives clear signs of suffering from a mental illness, would anyone disagree with that statement on the panel?
No, but I do have a question. Why? I mean, wasn't there a way to get her or before she even reached? I mean, they gave a lot of commands. There were a lot of officers. Was there no way? I don't know. That is hindsight, isn't it? Yeah, she's definitely mental.
That is some hindsight, but let me go backwards, or let me go back to my point that we saw, and if we could see it, the officers could have seen it as well. They have training. That there appeared to be some mental illness issues going on here, maybe even schizophrenia. She like you don't have authority. You're not real police officers. She's kind of behind the counter, acting. She's not robbing the joint necessarily, because you're not going to stand behind the cash register, I guess, and take people's gas money. But so you've got all that going on. Do we think that these officers took any care to that? Did they practice any techniques or anything to try to? In this case, if you guys have watched the show, you've heard me say before, sometimes you don't have a chance to get a rapport with somebody who's having a mental episode. You have to act, and it's horrible, lawful but awful. You've heard me say. In this one, do you think there was an opportunity for the officers to establish a rapport?
I don't think they tried to talk to her or any of that. No, I didn't see that.
Do you think that a reasonable person would have a responsibility before using deadly force to try to talk to her?
Absolutely.
I don't think she actually gave him a chance. She was being hostile, saying like, I don't respect your authority. And then she's waving around hands, grabs for what appears to be a handgun. That's a guaranteed way to get yourself shot. So it was pretty cut and dry, in my opinion.
May have been what she wanted.
Does that make it reasonable if that's what she wanted?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I only feel bad for one thing in the whole building, and that was the puppy going back in the last video. Like, he was checking her out. Like, that was the saddest part. Everything else is good.
We'll talk about the dog afterwards. Callie, does the mental illness, that adding that into the calculus, does it push you one way or the other? Does it make you think?
It would, but I don't think that there was any indications immediate that the police officers would have had a chance to determine that as quickly as it went down, right? I mean, there were indicators, but I mean, they had no time to react. They reacted as quick as they could when the gun was drawn.
Right, but you had enough time for 6 officers to get into the store before the gun was drawn, and you know what? Everyone was in a firing position. The bullets were flying from every candy aisle.
And I understand what you're saying, Joe, but those folks were assessing the scene from the moment they walked in the door, each one of them, and that from what I was watching, there wasn't she wasn't complying, and she was flat out saying, "You're not the cops, you're not the police." I understand what you're saying about maybe having a mental illness, but I don't think they had time to be able to assess that situation, when the gun was drawn. And
yeah, they all made the same decision in the same split second. Like those guys all just started just blasting immediately, same time.
Well, and I have a question, how do we, was it drugs? Was it mental illness? Do you try to talk to a suspect different ways for different things? At the end of the day, I mean, I still think it was reasonable, but I'm not going to go into why.
A general rule of thumb, if you have someone that you think is going through some sort of a psychosis or having a mental episode, is that you try not to be aggressive. You don't.
Hey, Joe, I want to ask
aggressively.
Joe, can we ask the expert witness, Jason, on what the protocol would be?
No.
No.
I'll ask him afterwards. No, there's no way I'm gonna let Jason answer that.
In the after space.
No, we'll do it.
Right.
No, listen, we'll do it after the verdict. And I'll tell you in the after space why we have to do that. Me and Jason both laugh at it, but Jason's a good sport, but we can't let that happen.
I'm curious if the gun was already there and the shop owner or worker failed to mention, "Hey, we have a gun behind the counter." Well,
that's a good question because
it's unknown. Does it matter?
No, but
it would have pre-warned. It would have
Right.
pre-warned the police.
Okay, and they knew she had a
How
gun.
would that person know where it was, though? I would say, Joe, how would that individual know where the gun was? It looked to me like the person knew where it was.
It looked like it came from the bag, maybe, and it was
Yeah.
right there in the open.
Yeah, it looked like she picked it up right off the counter. I mean, dang.
Well, she
Oh,
yelled
no,
out.
she did grab it out of the
She
bag.
yelled out, "I'm strapped." I mean, she wasn't like, "Oh shit, I found a gun." She knew. Yeah, she said, "I'm
Yeah,
strapped."
I heard that.
Yeah. I mean, it may be an unpopular opinion, but I think too much weight is given to mental state of mind. Like,
Me
I don't
too.
care. I don't care if you're completely crazy or the most rational, logical person in the world. Decision to harm me or my fellow officers.
Well,
Like, you're going down.
don't get too outside the lines. Now, remember, there are rules for this. We're just asking for the reasonableness. What would a reasonable person believe this person had a mental illness, and would a reasonable person believe that you should take some sort of procedure as a police officer when dealing with a mental illness? Is it reasonable?
No. It's it's reasonable
Don't
not
let
to put
Joe
up with
get in your
that.
head.
Actually,
Yeah,
is it reasonable? Hey, here's the real question before we run out of time. Is it reasonable to would a reasonable person believe that officer has a duty to? That would be the question here. If it's the mental illness part, the question is, does the officer have a duty to try to practice some sort of a CIT, critical incident training for mentally ill people, or is something that's a good trade, but he's not required to by law to do so?
Yeah, no. As soon as you've got a firearm or what appears to be a firearm in your hand, like all bets are off at that point.
All right, then, since all bets are off, the time is up. So unfortunately, we need a decision. Silverbug, I'm coming to you first. Reasonable or unreasonable?
I'm going to say that was reasonable.
Regina, reasonable or unreasonable?
Absolutely reasonable.
Guess I had no problem with them 35,000 shots shot at that lady. He only took one bullet, but I guess
No, I had
not
problems
excessive.
with
Not excessive, I
wait,
guess.
wait,
All right,
Joe,
then. All right.
wait, hold on. I had a serious problem with all that, but that's not what you're asking us, right? I mean, it was reasonable that, yeah, maybe one of them, but I didn't know that we were talking about the number of shots. Does that play
Nope.
into it?
We're not. We're not. I'm still getting votes here. Callie, reasonable or not?
Save the critters. Reasonable.
Right side rebel. How say you?
It's reasonable. Yeah, it's reasonable.
You know, was real quiet. Tinkerton gave us an initial impression, but we never got back to him. So I'm curious to see what his vote is. Tinkerton, how do you vote?
And I'm saying reasonable all the way.
We got a unanimous decision. Big Ron, reasonable force. Jason, you heard me pose my questions. So how say you on the questions on the mental illness? Now, for those of you that don't know, Jason is many years. In fact, he's a certified trainer to teach police officers how to conduct interactions with the mentally ill, called CIT. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm going to answer this with did you hear the I think it was Philadelphia or somewhere in the East Coast where they sent the mental health counselors in on a call, and the one guy got stabbed by the subject. Point being, it's not the time to lay on a couch when somebody grabs a gun and talk about their feelings. Sometimes you go on these calls and they're just not, it's not going to work, and sometimes it will. And in this case, it's not working. When she grabbed that gun, it's game over. It's more than reasonable. And there's a time for CIT and there's a time not for it. And I don't think this was a time for it.
Well, I'm disappointed. No juror fell into my trap on that one.
I knew what you were doing there, Joe.
And I really thought we were going to get like, wow, that was too many shots. But we only got that. I saw that in the chat. We did get that in the chat. Like, it's excessive. That was too many bullets. But for those of you that say that, just answer my questions. Well, how many does it take, and how do you know? How do you know when to stop? You'll come to the same conclusion that every officer in that store came to. Guys, before we get to our next case, Brecca was scheduled to be on here. By the way, folks, she was the one who wasn't on time, and we had to put in Regina to have our 5-person panel. But Brecca has made it, and we're going to make an exception tonight, and we'll let her ride out the rest of the grand jury with us as the 6th juror. Because technically, she's a repeater, and Regina's a repeater, and you know, repeaters are like half score. So the two of you together will actually make one. Brecca, how's your commo? You with us? Well, that was a nice introduction, and the commo's not working. All right. With that, where we at on promos here? I tell you what, let's talk about some Drax and Daily Fix. Drax's Pit, Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. One of the best live streams and most entertaining live streams, besides the grand jury that you'll find on X. And then the Daily Fix with Kay Daly. Drax and Kay Daly both do this show 3 times a week. Kay Daly is a Washington insider. She'll tell you how the sausage is made with anything current in politics. That's what they'll discuss. And they have some pretty big guests come on there. Roger, I'm forgetting the guy's last name. Roger, who's the guy that went to prison for Trump? The Roger, funny-looking guy.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. Roger Stone. Roger Stone's been on the Kay Daly Show. But either way, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern for the Kay Daly Show. But let's run both those promos back to back, Big Ron.
As liberals go crazy and throw their fits, come on down to Drax's Pit. Yeah, it's Drax's Pit.
Folks, I can't recommend either one of those more. They're both great. You should catch them Saturday, and then Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the Daily Fix. And I know Drax and Kay are watching the show. I need new promos from you guys. I've already jumped on Jason, so now I'm jumping on you. Send me some new promos. With that, Big Ron, hang on. Let's go. Is Brecca with us? Does anybody have an update on her? Nothing but silence. I'll take that as a no. Let's go with case number 3. And somebody needs to mic up.
Mr. Otto, he's in the back. Get out! Shit! Fuck! Get out the car!
Get the fuck off the car!
Get out! Shit! You better stop! Stop! Fucking... Fuck! Stop! Stop! Fucking Florida! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car! Stop the fucking car! Stop! I can't jump off! I'm going to fucking shoot you! Stop it! Stop the fucking car! He did it! I don't stop! Stop it now! Oh, stop! No, you don't gotta fucking shit! Stop it out! I'm going to shoot you! Stop! Are you done? 2180 shots fired. Sudden medical.
All right, folks, there's case number 3. Yet officers in Milwaukee go to a residence and attempt to serve a parole arrest warrant. They find the subject in a tow truck. He begins to drive off. The officer stands on the running board for quite some time before he pulls his firearm and shoots the driver and ends the pursuit. Any parts of this video we'd like to see again? How about the beginning? Let's go to
Joe, show the beginning, the absolute beginning when the police officer makes contact with the suspect.
Yes, please. Thank you for asking for that.
So they've knocked on the door. He's checking out back. This is pretty standard for arresting dudes.
Mr. Otto, he's in the back.
off the car!
Get the fuck off the car!
Get out! Shit, you better stop! Stop! Fucking
Turn down the audio and just kind of let that run for a bit because the picture really doesn't change much. You see door, hand, door, glass, hand, door, and a lot of talking. Now, by the way, that was his, the suspect's daughter was in the passenger seat. Any more questions? Any other parts of the video that we'd like to see?
And Joe, just re-clarify, they were there on a warrant or a parole violation? Is that what they were there
Parole
for?
violation. Parole violation in most states, this is an administrative warrant, actually. It's not signed by a judge, but it is a parole violation warrant. Means that this person has been convicted of a crime. He is still serving the sentence of that crime. They're allowing him to serve it on the outside after being paroled, let out early from the penitentiary. It's different than probation.
All right.
With that, Big Ron, put us up a clock. Let's talk about it. Brecca, I'm gonna test your mic one more time. Can you talk? Can you talk, Brecca? Brecca, you muted? You're not talking? Okay, we're gonna move on. Who has not gone first? I believe Callie. Going to you first, Callie. Somebody's got their mic open. Please, guys.
Yeah, you want me to go first, Joe?
Muted. Yeah, go ahead, Callie.
Joe. I mean, right off the bat, what I observed was once the individual recognized that it was a police officer walking up on them, the individual turned the vehicle on and said, "I'm freaking out of here," and mashed the gas, and he was gone. So the cop, the police officer, latched on to the truck, stepped up onto the step, and hung on for dear life to try to subdue the suspect. But that's what I saw. I saw that the individual definitely knew what was going down and said, "I got to get the freak out."
I think we all saw that, Callie. If he didn't know from the get, he knew at some point going the 35 miles that they traveled through city streets that this guy was a cop, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this was just another one of those cases of a UDMF. You can put the UDMF together and understand what I'm saying. Yeah, that guy knew what was going on, and he was just a dumb MFer.
Okay. Tinkerton, I want your initial assessment of this one, sir.
And I'm coming to play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Again, the guy in any way knowing that you need to follow parole officers, police officers. I don't think in that video there is a safe moment where the officer can get off and just let the guy go, and then deal with an extra charge in that situation.
Okay. Regina, what do you think?
Yeah, I can hear some of y'all, can't hear some of y'all. So man, I don't know. I got to think about it some more. There's a lot of stuff I saw that why did he jump on the vehicle, and did he have any backup?
Yeah, he was there with a number of officers. His job was to go around back. And there were other officers in chase, but what do you do when the vehicle's traveling down the street? I think she's got about a 16-second delay, so it's going to be a second for her to come back.
Right. It is. I'm sorry. There's a delay. So
No.
I don't know. I still have to think about it. Let me hear everybody else.
All right. No problem. No problem. Right side rebel. What say you?
Hola. Honestly, I get it. I'm honestly surprised he didn't do it in the first 5-10 seconds, but I get it because, this guy was driving at the time. but I'm still surprised he didn't do it the first 5 seconds. I think honestly he had every right to. Once he came to a stop, he wouldn't have known what this guy was about to do. I mean, he just drove how far with the cop on standing on the side, and he wasn't obeying, he wasn't listening. You know, you never know what they're gonna do next. So I think he had every right to. It's sad that it has to happen this way because he did stop once he was being threatened to get shot. But
No, he got
you have
shot.
to.
That's how he stopped. He was shot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Could I see that part without the sound, or with the sound, whatever?
And my sound is back, y'all. Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Let me find our case.
Because I thought it was like after he stopped or when he started slowing down. I thought my eyes are deceiving me. Sorry, guys.
Could I try to add in the context that it looks like he puts the gun to the
Hang on,
guy
hang on.
before?
Hold up. I'm going to make this large screen, but you can't really hear the shot. The shot either gets banked out or the audio just doesn't pick it up.
Stop the fucking door! He did it! I don't stop! Stop it now! Oh, stop! No, you don't got a fucking shit! Stop it! I don't want to shoot you! Stop! Are you done?
Oh,
Now you hear it?
I see.
Yeah.
That was just one shot too, right?
Yeah, I believe it was one shot to the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta say, oh, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, it's definitely reasonable.
I gotta say though, now that I've looked at that again, I'm glad you asked to see that again, Right Side Rebel, because, you know, for the man to, because there was a passenger, like you said, that was his daughter. I mean, I totally think it was reasonable, and for him holding on and making sure he wasn't just firing away, trying to stop him. He was calculated. It looked like he put it in a position. I was impressed actually. So I'm gonna say reasonable. Dude was on parole. Should have listened. Why people do shit like that?
Okay.
Forgive my language.
Silver Bug, what do you think?
I'm gonna call it reasonable. The only thing I possibly see as unreasonable was the amount of time that poor dude was hanging on for his life. He gave him so many chances, so many commands, up to and including a gun. It looked like he tapped him with the gun, like, "Hey, dude, like this is real. Stop." And even that wasn't enough. So he put him down like a wild dog. So yeah, man, like reasonable.
Okay. Is this could this be another argument for an officer putting himself into danger? I mean, this is like Renee Good. This guy was just trying to get away. He didn't mean to. He didn't want to hurt the officer. If he wanted to hurt the officer, he could have. He could have sideswiped vehicles while he was standing on the board. He didn't show any real intent to harm the officer. He's just trying to get away. Now, before you jump on me, remember, go back to the instructions. Can we use deadly force as police officers to prevent someone from evading?
I mean, he was going in for the grab, like he was trying to pull the dude out of the tow truck, it looked like, but the guy had, like, I guess keys and ignition, and he turned it on, and he just he punched it, and the cop was along for the ride.
Yeah, bro,
So
it's a rollback wrecker. I mean, he could have punched it, but I mean, you're still not going. If you got off of it, you could have done it without being injured.
Yeah, well, he was along for the ride at that point. It looked like to me, anyway.
Well, it definitely was. I'm just saying, is it a condition that the officer created himself?
No, I'm going to say no, Joe. That individual knew what was going down. He punched it and took off with the officer on the side of the vehicle.
Fleeing, right?
Yeah, he was fleeing. 100% knew what he was doing. He was
What about
parolee.
Well,
He was a parolee.
doesn't matter. He still has. You know, we don't kill people for running away.
No, I'm not saying that, but
Would
gotta
would he
watch-
have been able to
you
let
gotta
his
watch the
guy
whole
go
video
though? He had a
and-
warrant for a violation of parole, right? Not just probation, but parole. Does that make a difference?
No.
All right.
The reason I bring up that it's a not signed by a judge is because of the recent news with ICE, and they say, well, it's not signed by a judge. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people who go to the penitentiary with that warrants not signed by a judge. But either way, there's a whole legal theory behind that. I don't want to get into that, but I don't want to say this. I want to say this. Right Side Rebel brought up something in the first case that she would have deemed it initially. Now, I don't know if she voted this way, but initially she said that why not just disable the vehicle? Did this guy not have plenty of opportunity to put rounds into the tire, put rounds into the engine? He was on that truck a long time. Did he not have isn't not anything else he could have done before he shoots this guy in the head in front of his daughter?
Man, when you're hanging on to the floor, like what is it, the steps part
Running
of
boards.
the running boards. There you go. And you're like,
I
what?
mean,
It looked like
damn,
it was about
Joe.
35,
You had to
40
give us a
miles per
case like
hour.
this tonight.
I mean, you're popping tires, or you're like shooting the engine block, hoping that like your handgun's not gonna go through a tow truck engine like block. That ain't happening. You got no shot at the radiator. Tires are iffy. Like the driver is who you want to comply. Like, pull over, dude. Like, he just didn't listen.
I think in almost like every case that involves a vehicle, I think there's somehow a way. I mean, it really like depends. You have to watch the footage, but there is always some way to disarm the vehicle. A tow
Are you-
truck though is a little a tow truck.
If you're hanging on the side of a tow truck, you shoot the tires and that thing goes out of control.
Well,
Like, is
that's
that
what
where
I
you
was
want
just
to
getting
be?
to.
Like, yeah.
Well, that's what I was just getting to. My stepdad does a tow truck, so I know a lot about how they work. So if you're on the side of the tow truck, especially a flatbed like that, I mean, you have a very high chance of it skidding, you being thrown, you put yourself in danger when it involves a tow truck, especially a flatbed like that.
So you put yourself in danger when you stand on the ring boards while it's operating.
Oh yeah, that was taken from the beginning. He put himself in danger from there. But I'm surprised, like I said, I'm surprised he didn't do it within the first 5 seconds. Usually I'm like very spot on about finding another way other than shooting the person, but I didn't really see many ways to disarm in that situation.
Okay, and we are out of time, so I'm going to come to you last, Right Side Rebel. Regina, I'm coming to you first. How say you, reasonable or unreasonable? I think she's still dealing with the delay, so we'll give her 16 seconds.
I'm going to say reasonable. I'm on that 10-second delay again, working with the sound. If I cut somebody off, I'm sorry. I'm going to go with reasonable. I mean, I don't know why he jumped on the truck like that, I guess to prevent the window from going up, but I still say it's reasonable. I hate that it happened, but I say reasonable.
Fair enough. Tinkerton, how say you?
Reasonable.
Callie, Hillbilly Callie, what's your vote?
Reasonable, Joe.
Silverbug, your vote, sir.
Yeah, guy had so many chances. Reasonable.
Right Side Rebel.
Hi, reasonable.
Unanimous decision. It's going to be another reasonable force decided here. Jason and I have talked about this before. I've got a hard rule. When a vehicle starts taking off, I'm going to make sure my feet are on the ground. Don't hang on to a truck or a vehicle as it's traveling. It's a dumb move. But with that in mind, Jason, what did you think about this?
I agree with what you said. Never jump into a vehicle or on a vehicle for any reason whatsoever. You can find this guy another time. It's a probation violation. They know who he is. It's reasonable. The guy was obviously afraid for his life, but again, don't put yourself in the situation you can't get out of, and he kind of did.
As a police officer in that situation, you need to always remember car pursuits are more fun than foot pursuits, and it's a lot more fun than riding on the outside of a vehicle running down the street. So at that point, you need to make the decision to run back to your squad so you can catch up with them and get into the pursuit. A tow truck would be a blast to chase. But but with that said, I agree with the jury. You agree with the jury's decision, right, Jason?
Yeah. You could tell in his voice he was scared shitless.
No, I agree. And I go back to the difference that we talked about earlier. I think when you give this officer deference about that's a dumb move, don't get on the vehicle, he probably realized that about 40 feet down the pavement. But at that point, you're already going too fast to jump off. So he probably realized how stupid it was. He was there, but he's there. And I think you got to give him the difference for that. His argument, just like we talked about tactically, his argument would be, I had to get on the running board so I could see inside the vehicle. I've got a parole felon here. I need to be able to see his hands. So, yeah, good decision on that. You guys are throwing me a little bit tonight, but we're going to get you on one of these cases. Let's talk about some Judge Joe Brown barbecue sauce. For those of you that haven't watched the show before or follow us, you may not know that Judge Joe Brown has actually been a special prosecutor on our show, and he introduced us to his barbecue sauce. And Bruce Wayne has got, I haven't gotten any yet, actually. I keep talking about it, but I'm going to get some for this summer. But Bruce Wayne got some, and he gave us a really good review on it. Very coarse grind, sticks to the meat very well, and it's great flavor. And remember, Judge Joe Brown hails from Memphis. I mean, it's not Texas, but they damn sure know their barbecue there. But let's take a look at that promo, Big Ron.
Introducing Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Folks, he's cool. He's cool as a fan. I've had conversations with him on the phone. Of course, he was on the show, and he's in private conversation. He's just like he is on the bench. He tells it how it is, and he's a remarkable orator, and damn sure knows the law. We'll hope to have him on again. I've been working on that, but that man's been busy. But I've seen him on some spaces the last couple of weeks. Maybe things are loosening up for him. We'll get him back on. But you can get it at jjbbarbecue.com, or you can get it on Amazon, believe it or not. And I think the judge said you can actually get a little faster from Amazon. But they got lots to choose from. Give it a shot, and then take some pictures. Come back and tell us what it was like and how much you enjoyed it. Or maybe come back and tell us how much you didn't enjoy it. But tell us. Okay, we've got, let's get Regina back on stage. Let's go to case number 4.
.581, shots fired, suspect down, start EMS.
Good?
Yeah.
You gotta check him.
Shots fired.
Start 8. Ready?
Yep.
Close the door.
Get in the house.
Pop the back, any gloves.
Case number 4, it's a quick one. It's a disturbed person, disturbance call. Law enforcement goes to the location. They encounter the person right off the get. The reason he didn't have any audio is those cameras have a buffering period. And So it kind of goes back a minute and a half. The guy didn't have, it happened so fast they didn't have a chance to hit their camera to engage it. But you saw the person, the suspect with a large knife or machete. Any portions of this we'd like to see again?
Yes, please. All of it from the beginning. It happened so fast.
I'm sorry, I was incorrect. It wasn't a disturbance. They attempted to serve an arrest warrant on this person.
And you said that was a machete, not a gun, right?
Do you see it there?
Yes, I do. Oh, damn.
.581, shots fired, suspect down. Suspect down, start EMS.
Good?
Yeah.
You gotta check him.
Y'all just have shot fire?
Start 8. Ready?
Yep.
Close the door.
Get in the house.
Pop the back, any gloves.
So it happens fast. They pull up there to the address, and this person's outside, and it begins to, go down like that. Hey, do we know if we have audio with Brecca? Brecca, can you hear us? Can you talk?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Finally, I had to go in and out all the time, so I'm here.
All right. Well, we're in the middle of it, so we're going to bring you up and let you be the sixth juror. Just kind of hang out, and I'll come to you. I don't know if you had a chance to see this video or not. If you didn't get to see it, just let me know. We'll keep moving. Otherwise, we'll get crunched on time. So the officers arrive. They're confronted in the street there with the machete. So we're looking, is the force reasonable or not? Was it reasonable that the
Are
officers?
we quiet again?
No, we're talking. Can you not hear us? Can anyone else hear me?
I can hear you, Joe.
Okay.
I could hear you.
I could hear Brecca or right side.
Yeah, I think we can hear us. Okay.
Can we do a
Let's
sound check?
Let's put a clock. Let's put up a clock. All right, I'm going to go to everyone that can hear me. Regina, what's your initial opinion on this one?
I mean, why couldn't they? Okay, is a taser thing anything? But that machete was big. He was combative. I mean, let's just say reasonable.
Okay, Silverbug, what do you say?
Yeah, this is the classic Indiana Jones scenario, except much closer. Yeah, that guy had to go down. So reasonable.
Okay, Right Side Rebel, how do you view this?
Hi. Obviously it's reasonable. I'm wondering maybe they could have went about it with the taser from a distance, but I think it was reasonable because I mean the cop didn't shoot until the guy had the machete up and was about to swing on him. And then he immediately requested EMS start assisting. So I think it was entirely reasonable the cop did what he needed to do.
Okay, Tinkerton.
The dude pulled a machete out of his belt like he was Crocodile Dundee, and when you do that to an officer or in front of an officer, yeah, I'm leaning towards reasonable.
And Callie.
I concur.
Hey, Joe.
I would have done the same thing. You feel like your life is threatened, and it's unpredictable at that time. So I think it's reasonable.
Very good. Brecca, can you hear us? Can you hear me? I can't tell if she can hear us or not. Go ahead, Callie. Give us your point.
All right. Okay, cool. Joe, thanks. Hey, look, I think we need to take a toast to the cat right now of our favorite beverage, to the cat-like reflexes of that police officer for getting it done, because it was reasonable.
Yeah, it was pretty quick reflexes. I agree with that. You know what? I'm not going to stretch this out. Let's go to a vote on this, Big Ron. I think we have more discussion after the clock than we do before on this one. Let's go with Regina, give me your vote, and then I'm going to Silverbug next.
I say reasonable, and I want to give a shout out. I don't know who it was that made the Indiana Jones reference, but that was hilarious. So reasonable, yes.
It was appropriate. The reference was appropriate.
Totally.
Silverbug, your vote, sir.
Yes, sir. That was definitely the Indiana Jones reference. Yeah, man. They always talk about what is the rule about, like, what is it, like 20 feet with a bladed object versus a handgun.
It's the 21-foot rule, and we can get into that after the clock with
yeah. But long story short, the dude was like he was about to swing, clear cut, reasonable.
Fair enough, and I think when you have a 4-foot sword, it's 25 feet. It's a 25-foot rule because the sword's 5 feet in front of you. Callie, your vote.
Yeah, that dude was batshit crazy with that freaking machete. Reasonable.
What if he wanted to die? Maybe that was his motive. He wanted to provoke the police so they could kill him.
That's speculation.
It is. Rebel, your vote, ma'am.
Reasonable. It does make me want to play the Lego Indiana Jones now, though, with that machete. Takes me back about 10 years.
Was there a Lego game for Indiana Jones?
Oh my gosh. Yes, there was. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've only played adult video games like well, that doesn't sound right, does it?
No, it does not, Joe.
Call of Duty.
Dang it. Okay, wait.
Exactly
Arc Raiders is where it's at. But Indiana Jones, Lego Indiana Jones, and Lego, the Batman and all of them, that was where it was at as a kid. Just saying.
Yeah, you got that right, Rebel. That's good stuff.
How do you make a Lego sword?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tinkerton, I need your vote, sir. How do you say reasonable or unreasonable?
Reasonable. Again, crikey, that guy was asking for it.
And let's try Brecca. I can't tell if we have communication with Brecca or not. Brecca, you have a vote on that, reasonable or not? I'm going to say no. But that is that would still be a unanimous vote by our 5 jurors. Reasonable force once again. Jason, now I don't think there's an argument as to whether this guy presented a danger in the reasonable person standard. But if you're going to go to a house and arrest someone, pulling up directly in front of the house sometimes is not the best tactic, is it?
No, it's not. And I was watching that video going, I would shoot. I would have shot sooner, but I agree with you. The other thing too is every Friday there's the why didn't they tase him point of view, more training for cops point of view. I'm gonna host a space on why tasers suck, because it's you don't bring a knife to a gunfight and you don't bring a taser to a knife fight. It's a perception people have. A lot of people have that, and I understand it. But that's not the moment for a taser.
No, and I think we've shown on this show over the last 2 years as many videos that we've gone through. I mean, we do 5 a week, right? Every week. You see the when the tasers work and when the tasers don't work. They're not as effective as many people think. It's not the on-off switch for human beings.
No, but there's a perception about them that I'm not sure how the public, and by public I mean everybody, thinks that why didn't you tase him? And that's why the 21-foot rule was created, because you can cover that space literally in seconds. And by seconds, I mean before you can unholster your weapon and fire, you'll be stabbed. And that's where the 21-foot rule came from. So a knife 15 feet away is going to get you a lot faster than drawing your weapon. So,
right.
I'm glad you clarified that because I did not know that. And I was thinking, you know, we do think, well, why couldn't they try to taser them first? But this is the first time I actually heard y'all really explain that. So thank you.
Yeah, the effectiveness of a taser, I don't think there's any police officer out there would take a different stance than Jason or I. I mean, yeah, sometimes they work great, but then when they don't work, there's like nothing else. You got nothing but something that's useless in your hand that's plastic.
Would you say that they're better in use for someone who's probably not armed, just to subdue them, to keep them from running, or can you
Right.
use a taser?
If someone is armed with a deadly weapon, why would I bring less lethal to the fight?
Right.
That's a lethal
Yeah,
fight.
they can miss, or maybe
agree.
they don't bite into the flesh. They get
You got a
maybe
coat
you got
on.
a thick coat. Yeah, you got a thick coat, or you're hopped up on some kind of.
Some people it doesn't affect. Some people can be running and actually run out of them. There's many reasons why the effector the
most effective use of a taser is when you're wrestling with somebody who will not put their hands behind their back, and you take the probes off the front of it and you do what's called a drive stun, where you push it against their skin. I've had that work pretty much every time, but the probes, nope.
Yeah, drive stun is 100%, and you can ride it as long as it takes until you get compliance. It does work that way, but from a distance, that's not always right. Always 100%. I want to go back to something we've heard some our jurors. This kind of to you real quickly though. We heard some 911 calls tonight. How effective or efficient do you think 911 calls are as far as passing emergency information to first responders?
There was one 911 call. I think it was the one in the shop that was like, the lady just kept asking questions, and I've had an instance like that where the dispatcher just kept asking questions. Well, I got maced because they couldn't just send someone right away. Something in that time could have happened to them with the attacker. So I think when someone is seriously like, I need you guys to send someone here now, like the person was on the phone, I think there's some dispatchers who get it done, and then there's dispatchers like that who will keep asking questions that, they feel.
Hang on a second on that one. Aside, what's happening is the dispatcher, it doesn't really delay them pushing anybody out there, but there's information that they need and the information that the first responder needs. I'm saying that people calling when they're stressed, when they're, something's going on, they need police, and when seconds count, they're not able to relay the information efficiently. Let's go back to the Army, right? Why do we have 9 lines? So we don't go like, oh my God, it's horrible. No, you just get the 9 lines. You get all the information that responders need. And that's kind of what we look for in dispatch. But the citizen is having a different kind of day, right? They're telling more things, or they're upset that they think that something's not coming like this guy. My point to that is pointing to the 3D response system. 3D response is a school safety system that Jason spent the last 10 plus years of his life developing, installed in about 20 schools in Minnesota now, and more coming. But he's built in a system there with one push of the button. It notifies the school, it notifies everyone else in the school, and it also notifies law enforcement via text message, exact information that law enforcement officers need. We're going to watch a promo video. Now, this is a video taken from a school that's been installed with the 3D response system, and this is an annual training. These are police officers from that local jurisdiction who are coming there to brush up on how to respond to a school shooter or a active shooter situation at a school installed with a 3D response system. But pay attention to the times and how efficient this officer is getting to. By the way, in this practice, the officer comes in, they run through these drills. They don't know where they're going. They're going to be told where to go, just like the systems are meant to be once they get into the school. But pay attention how quick this happens.
Law enforcement is on the way. I see you entering, take a right. You're going to proceed down the long hall, all the way to the end. You're going to go till the end where you're intersect to the classrooms. Keep going, I see you moving forward. Subject is held up in classroom 203.
Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way.
Folks, the audio that you hear is from the school. That's the alarm. It's letting everyone know that law enforcement's on the way. When officers arrive, they're alerted by simply a push of the button inside the school. You saw the simulation of the button being pushed in the video. But a simple push of the button notifies law enforcement that law enforcement officers are needed, and they'll have a general rule of thumb of what portion of the school they need to go to. But the real key and the real beauty of this system is that communication under stress, which is super important. When they get to the school, there are school staff there or the school resource officer that are in a bulletproof, safe room where they have the ability to use the cameras. So when the officer comes in, you heard them say, "I see you." They acknowledge that I see you. Then he starts telling the officer, "Turn left, turn right." Okay, he's in that classroom right here. So it took the officers long to run through the school to get to where the shooter is to stop the madness. This is a great part. But Jason's got some big things going on in Minnesota. I'm gonna let him talk about the political side of that a little bit, because I think you folks in Minnesota need to reach out to some legislators. You need to reach out to your representatives and say anything's going on with this 3D response system or the SHIELD Act. You need to pass that. We need to have common sense building codes for our schools that address this type of tragedy happening in our schools. But Jason, I can give you a couple of minutes on it if you want to talk about it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, there's actually 3 bills in the House, 1 bill in the Senate. The House side is for building code. The Senate side is to fund it. One thing on top of what Joe just said is when that button is pushed, every classroom in there, when the teacher hits their button, they take their classroom and they make it a safe room. Every door, when that button is pushed, has 1,200 pounds of magnetic pressure on it. The alert system is set off. There's ballistic features like a pull-out pocket door, or you need to cover a window. That whiteboard was actually level 7 ballistic panels. You can, and it's all hidden, and you make your classroom and areas throughout the school safe. We can take a building of 2,000 kids, and in 60 seconds, you took a target-rich environment, you made it target-less. And then on top of it, when the police arrive, you enhance their response. And right now, run, hide, fight does not work because the building just, quite frankly, doesn't support it. So what we did is we took run, hide, fight, we put it on steroids. We looked at who are the stakeholders. It's the kids, it's the teachers, and the cops. And we gave them the tools to be more effective. Every single officer I've walked through there, SWAT person, military, FBI, the FBI active shooter team, all call this a complete game changer. And this will absolutely minimize loss of life. Joe and I and John Cox did a show on Uvalde a couple months back, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, without hesitation, there is not one life lost in Uvalde if this system was in that school. We need a paradigm shift on how we think about keeping our schools safe. And until we actually start using some tactical common sense responses to it, we're not going to see any improvement. But that's a very broad overview.
Can I just piggyback on that and say the first time I saw the 3D response system was actually on this show, and I was so taken by it. And I want to say just the design of it, right? How it's all natural. I watched the trailer like 3 or 4 times back to back to back. When I first saw it, I was bugging Joe going, I need to see that video. Let me see that video. But I mean, that's amazing. And you said it was the SHIELD Act, right?
Yeah, that's one name for a piece. I think there's 4 pieces of legislation, or maybe less than that. There's several pieces of legislation going through the Minnesota State House right now that would all be one. I think establishes it as a building code, and I think there's a couple of others that fund it in different manners. I may be wrong on that, but the SHIELD Act is the basic name, but there's more than one.
Yeah, we have an 8-year-old, and I mean, when you compare just the analytics of, arming a teacher, which is crazy, the training like that was brought up, this is the answer. The 3D response system is absolutely the answer, and I believe there will be no more metal detectors in schools because you won't need them.
I'll tell you what, Regina, jumping on this real quick. My wife's a 6th grade teacher, and I've seen Jason's system. I've actually toured a school, and I wish every day that my wife's school had this system installed. And you say it's natural, you don't see it, you don't even know it's there. And her and I are both vets, and I can see stuff like that, and you cannot tell that system is there. It's phenomenal.
That is amazing. I'm about to get y'all on an interview. We'll have to do another live stream, Jason, get John and everybody, because we need to bring so much awareness. I think people just don't know it's out there because there's not enough of us to say that there is. So you guys, if you're in the comment section, start spreading this around. It's a game changer.
Yeah, learn more about it. Go to 3dresponse.com. Jason's got an outstanding website there that can answer a lot of your questions, and also a point of contact. You can contact him there. Contact him on X at 3D Response. Isn't it 3D Responses?
Yeah, 3D Responses.
3D Responses on X. He's
Say it again.
3D Responses.
No, he sounds gay when he does that.
Wow.
Whoa!
All right, guys, we gotta get to our final case, so we won't have time to even talk about it. Big Ron, case
Wait,
number
Joe's
5.
not gay?
Wow.
Phoenix 911, where is your emergency?
West Osborne.
Okay, sorry, what's going on?
My husband beat me and he won't.
Okay. Do you need medical attention?
No, right now I mean I probably do, but I have my kids and
Okay.
I just want him gone.
Any weapons on him or in the home?
Yes.
Where are the weapons at?
I don't know where he put them, but I know there is.
Has he done this before?
Yes.
Okay. What started this today? Why is he mad?
He moved in. I didn't want him there when he's not supposed to be here, and he refused to leave. And because I told him he's flipping out, and he just kept on. And he tells me I'm going to be with him or it's going to be death. If I don't be with him, I'm going to die. He started accusing me of cheating.
And you said you have bruises on your body?
I have bruises all over my body, cuts on my face, on my neck.
Okay. Do you think he'd be aggressive with officers?
He will. I believe he will.
Okay. Does he have a history of doing that?
Not that I know of, but he said he just had a history of violence.
Okay. Do you have like an order of protection in place or anything?
Did, but he hasn't been served because they can't find him, so he's been on the run.
Hear the man saying, "You are gonna have to kill me," before he runs away.
831 Frank, he's running westbound down the complex. Hey, he's running back towards you guys to the original complaint. Stop! Stop! We're gonna fucking shoot you! Fucking put the gun down!
Case number 5. We have a domestic disturbance call. Law enforcement officers arrive. The suspect runs saying, "You're going to have to kill me," and runs through an apartment complex and is shot. And that's just what happened. Any part of the video we'd like to see again?
I mean, it was short enough. Can we back it up to when the shots were fired?
We'll just watch the whole interaction. It wasn't very long.
Hear the man saying, "You are gonna have to kill me," before he runs away.
8th everyone, Frank. He's running westbound in the complex.
Like, this is the most casual jog chase I've ever seen.
I just don't think he needed. He wasn't ready to turn it up yet. Here you go.
Stop! Stop! We're gonna fucking shoot you! Fucking put the gun down!
I'm so confused. I'm sorry, Joe. So the suspect had a gun and he was fleeing from the officer.
Yeah, he was running, fleeing from the officers, but he does have a firearm in his hand. You want to go back to that part again? I'll get back there.
Mm.
Did he turn back towards the officer at any point?
Well, that's why you're here, man.
I know, I'm trying to see. The guy's running is like blurred.
I'll give you a chance to see it a couple of times.
Thank you.
Stop! Stop! We're gonna fucking shoot you! We're gonna fucking shoot you! Stop! We're gonna fucking shoot you! Stop! We're gonna fucking shoot you! Fucking put the gun down!
Yeah, he was serious about put that gun down stuff. He meant it. Okay,
Yeah.
let's put up a clock.
Mm.
Going to you first, Silverbug. How do you feel about this?
Well, I'm just gonna have to take the officer's word for it, or the reports that the guy had a gun. I didn't from the video. You don't see it, but I mean, from the time of the command of put the gun down, we're gonna shoot you, and then pop, 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 pop. Dude, I don't even know if he heard it or had time to process what he just got told. But at the same time, like he's on audio telling the cops.
Let me
"You
ask you
gotta
this:
kill me."
how much do commands come into play in the reality whether deadly force is reasonable or not?
I mean, I think it's part of the equation, right? You know, the officer is telling you what you need to do. Usually, not always. Police commands are reasonable. Like, you are expected to do or not do something.
Well, the
and
commands,
your
not
life
request,
could.
right?
Yes, exactly. And failure to comply puts you in a.
That's not my question. My question is on the simple matter. The simple matter whether what we're looking for, was it reasonable that the officer believed that his life or a third person's life or the public at large's life were in
Right.
danger because of this guy, because of his actions?
Yeah. I mean, if they had all the information from the 911 call, if they had like the dude's fleeing with a gun in hand, not obeying commands, he didn't point at anybody. So this is tough for me, man. I'm gonna have to. I'm leaning reasonable, but I'm not all the way there yet.
All right, then let's hear what other people have to say. Maybe they'll push you one way or the other. I'm gonna go to Rebel. What do you think, Rebel?
I wish I could see a different and steadier point of view, because I'm wondering if it kind of looked like he reached in the back to grab his gun to pull it out, but if he was just running away from the officers, I don't think it was like, if he was just running away, I don't think it was reasonable, but if he went to grab it like I think I saw, then that was reasonable, because you know, you don't know if they're gonna shoot you or not.
But he's running with it in his hand.
Oh, then yeah. I mean,
Now, I think he does, as he goes around the shrubs around the corner. I think he pulls it out from a, I don't know,
see, that's
pocket
what
or
I
something.
was. Yeah,
But it was in
that's
his hand when he was giving the commands and went around the
The
corner.
the
yeah.
second
If he was grabbing it, then yeah.
the second officer body cam would have been real helpful on this one because like you could see where he was at.
That's the way it goes, folks. So you're as jurors. You don't get to say,
yeah.
"Hey, get that in a sound stage," and once it's edited, send it to me. That's not the way it works. You gotta make the judgment call on what you've got.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, if he had it in his hand, then like, yeah, it's reasonable.
So even though he's running away,
Oh, that's where I'm getting iffy.
I mean, a gun
Oh,
is a gun something that you should just get shot for. I mean,
no.
what about Second Amendment? I mean, I own a gun. So please see me with it in my hand. Can they just shoot me?
Yeah, I think it was reasonable. But the fact is he was running away, so it's like, I don't know. This one's
Well,
kind of tough.
let's see what the other folks' points of view may be. Maybe they'll sway you one way or the other. Tinkerton, what say you, sir?
And that it was not mentioned when he first runs by saying again, "You're going to have to kill me." It doesn't get mentioned that he had a gun then. I want to agree with him getting away from the first officer that's chasing him. He pulls it, and then in the avenue, there's that other officer. We're saying we wish you have the body cam footage, but I'm leaning reasonable. I'm leaning to this manner of, again, to believe that someone could not be hurt with him carrying the gun in his hand. At that point, it's he runs past his baby mama or something on that, and there's another victim.
Well, and the standard's not somebody could be harmed or hurt with it. It's would a reasonable person believe that someone else's life or your life are in danger of serious bodily injury and or death imminent? In other words, you believe it's about to happen. Reasonably, you have a reasonable belief that it's going to happen.
And I would add in reasonable that I think he would turn it on an officer at that same point that it's out of the holster.
Right. Split second. All it takes is just pointing. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Callie. Callie, what do you think, sir?
All right. I got a different view on it, Joe. But from the 911 call, it was indicated that you have a habitual woman beater that was armed. That is the information that the officer showed up to understanding what the situation was. And I believe it's 100% reasonable. The guy ran and did not comply.
So what does the offense have to do with any? I mean, he wasn't convicted. These are allegations. We don't know if he actually did that or not.
I understand what you're saying, Joe, but I got to take in perspective of you had a woman and kids involved in the situation from what was what they were talking on the at the beginning of the, at the beginning,
That's a
all that,
911. Yeah.
at the beginning of 911 call, and it was a 911 call for a reason. So there was a emergency situation that the officers responded to, and they acted appropriately.
Okay, we're getting close on time. I want to go to Regina. Regina, give me your initial impression, and we're going to go straight to a vote.
Yeah, so my initial impression is unreasonable because from what I saw, yes, I realized there was a weapon. He only communicated that you're gonna have to kill me. And from what I saw, he was fleeing. I understand he had a gun. I'm gonna go with unreasonable simply because he was running away and he kept running away. I gotta go with that, and I'm staying by my decision.
Okay, I'm going to say one thing. Actually, I'm not going to say this. Go to vote. So you're an unreasonable person, right, Regina?
Most of the time.
Unreasonable camp. I agree with that. Silverbug, your vote, sir.
I'm gonna lean reasonable, but it's not as clean as I would like it to be.
We just need an answer, my friend. You have to live with it. We don't.
Reasonable it is.
There's two for reasonable. Callie, your vote, sir.
If you beat women, you get what's coming. Reasonable.
Not sure. I get your vote. Not sure about your reasoning there. We'll talk about it in the after party. Rebel, how say you?
I wish I had a second clip of this, but I gotta say reasonable.
Okay. Tinkerton, your vote, sir.
Reasonable. Again, I agree with the past of the wife beater. It escalates if you don't comply.
It does. There you go. Big Ron posted up. They're going to call that reasonable. Guys, we have a after party on X. It's a lot of fun. Our jurors in there. Jurors have primary mic time, so you can ask them questions on their decisions tonight and debate that. It'll start at exactly 20 minutes after we end the show. The invite's already out on my timeline. I'll distribute that. I also want to bring up a point that starting next week, we're going to try something different. We're going to have a grand jury live-in phone number that we'll have viewers will be able to call in and make comments on cases in between, kind of as a ghost juror, if you will. When I put that up there, can we leave it up there for a minute? Let's try that. The grand jury live call-in phone number will be coming out next week. We've set up a system. We've got the gears so that we can give you guys a posted number. You guys call in like an old-fashioned radio call-in show, and we'll be able to bring your audio in, and you can make comments on the grand jury. With that, I want to thank each and every one of our jurors. Thank you, guys. I know it's a long time I asked for you to commit on a Friday night, and we appreciate you taking the time to volunteer to do that. I'm always looking for volunteers. I'm going to throw that out there one more time before we go. Always looking for volunteers. Just get my attention on X, and we'll get you laced up. We do it every Friday. And also, scan this, join our Patreon group, support the show. There are costs that are associated with putting this on. We do it out of love, but a little bit of a help taking care of that each month is not a bad idea. And there will be some more. I've kind of laid off on my Patreon guys are very loyal. They haven't complained, but I haven't really done much for them in the last 3 months. But I'm putting together some stuff that will be special and will be exclusive to the Patreon group that will be coming out 1st of May. So thank my co-host, my host, actually, Big Ron, and producer Big Ron and producer Bruce Wayne. You guys should give them a follow on X. Big Ron and Bruce Wayne on X. Give them a follow. We've noticed that they're not picking up very many follows lately, and that's wrong. These guys put in a lot of time to put the show together. All right, guys, we'll see you in the after party. And once again, I appreciate you guys spending your Friday night with us.
An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.